So let's start with the MS media. All right, so for the MS media, I need 0.7. Let's take the measurements. Okay, so there is 0.7 grams, which is a very small amount, as you can see. So let's add that directly. I'm even going to use the flash to mix everything up. So there it goes. All right, next let's measure the sugar. Let's stir this out and let's measure the sugar. I have lab grade sucrose, which is very expensive and I do not recommend to use. You can use table sugar, and it is the same thing. Something that may benefit to have a lab grade sugar is that it dissolves faster, but this costs I think this costs close to $25 for 2.5 pounds, no, kilograms. So it is very expensive. You can get close to 1 pound of sugar for, I don't even know how much sugar it is, but I'm assuming it is no more than $5. So, all right. So I need 4.5 grams. So let's measure that out. There we go. That is 4.5 grams of sucrose, or table sugar. So there it goes. Really good. Now I'm going to add the PPM. Now for the PPM, I'm going to use my micropipette, and I know you probably don't have a micropipette. So what I'm going to do, I was going to get one of those disposable micropipettes. However, I didn't have time to get it, and they're actually very, very cheap for me to actually go get it. I should have probably just bought that one online. Anyways, I need 0.3 milliliters per liter. So I have my pipette set to 100. This is a 100 micros pipette, which that means that 100 is equivalent to 1/10 of a milliliter. So actually, I need to do this 3 times. So what I'm going to do, just so you have an idea of how much ppm that is, I'm just going to count how many drops that is. So you can have an idea of how many drops in a milliliter is. So you start counting. I'm going to go very slowly, so I don't miss any drop, which is actually very difficult with this micropipette. This let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, pretty much 8 and a bit. Let's do this again. Let's verify. Basically, we had 3 times to verify if that is correct. So second try. Let's see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So pretty much 8 drops. Let's try one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and a bit. So I can tell that 8 drops is probably 8 times 3, so 24 drops. That's what it took to do 0.3 milliliters. However, I'm not sure if that's this micropipette has a very small tip, so I'm not sure if I have used another bigger tip, I will have bigger drops. That's a possibility. So that's something that I'm sorry, but I won't be able to get it. if I don't have like a very small micropipette. You can get one of those for very cheaply online, um, or you want to make a tissue culture in a regular basis, just invest in a micropipette. That's probably the best thing to use, because these are very small measurements and it's difficult. All right, so this is me from the future using a much better pipette. This is a way more expensive professional pipette, and I should have used this. This is the same amount, 0.3 milliliters per liter, just to count the drops using a bigger tip. This is a 1000 micros pipette. So let's just count some drops using this micro pipette and see what happens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So 15 drops using this tip. So I have a 24 using the smaller tip, and I have a 15 using this one. So that depends on the size of your whatever dropper you're using. So that's kind of the best estimate I can give you. So now we have the 2 milliliters per liter of MS. So basically I have everything except for the agar. So let's start by measuring the agar. I'm not going to add it to the media yet. I need to measure the pH first. But let's add the agar next. So for the agar I need 1.2 grams, which that will be equivalent to 8 grams per liter. .1. There it goes. I have a 1.2 grams of agar, which I'm not going to add that yet. I need to measure my pH. So I want to use this little spoon. Let's try to dissolve the sugar. That's why it takes the longest. You have seen my videos before, you know I use a magnetic stirrer. However, this time you probably don't have a magnetic stirrer, so I just want to use a spoon just to dissolve this. Alright, so it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to calibrate the pH, and I highly recommend to use a digital pH meter. This costs less than $10. It's very inexpensive. You should probably get one of these. You can use the pH strips, but they are not the most accurate. You also have to judge. Also depends on somebody's vision and on judging the color of the pH strip to determine the pH. So I'm going to use NaOH to calibrate the pH. You probably don't have a stock solution of NaOH already. However, you can use baking soda. I was going to use baking soda, but I couldn't find it. I don't know where I put it. It takes a very, very, very small amount. So you can either add the powder to it, or you can add the powder to some distilled water, and then add a few drops at a time just to check the pH. That's going to increase the pH. And in case you go over and you need to decrease the pH, use some white distilled vinegar to decrease the pH until you get into between 5.4 and 5.8. So let's see how it is right now. So let me change tip. Alright, so it is 4.7, so I need to increase the pH. Take this out. Alright, I'm going to go very slowly, drop by drop. So I'm going to be adding one drop, and then I'm using the same pH meter to mix it up. So I'm on 5.3 now. So probably use one more drop is going to do it. There it goes. So I'm on 5.4, 5.5, and there is 5.6. So that looks good to me. Yeah, that looks 5.7. Still good between, as long as I don't go over 5.8, I'm happy. So I'm thinking staying at 5.7. So that's good. Let's take this out of here. And then you rinse this with some distilled water. Let me put this over here for now. This out. Now what I can do is add my 1.2 grams of agar, which is equivalent to 8 grams per liter. So there it goes. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mix it up. Now next you need to dissolve the agar. So you have a few different options. You can do is use, as long as you keep this in agitation, you can use something like this or a syringe or something, and you can distribute equal parts to all your flasks. A safer bet would be to boil for a few seconds, maybe about 30 seconds to a minute, and then pour it on equal parts. So that's going to guarantee you that it's going to fully dissolve the agar, and it's going to solidify at the same rate. If you, let's say you pour it in different, and some may have more agar than the other one, so some may get more solid than other ones. So because it's a very small amount, and putting this on the stove probably is going to be a waste of resources, I just going to take this to the microwave and get it to boil, and then I'll be back.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying these tissue culture videos, be sure to follow us on social media for more informative content. And if you're interested in conducting your own tissue culture experiments, make sure to check us out at plantcelltechnology.com for all the products you need to get started. Use the code FP10 for 10% off your first purchase.